You guys, it's Karen, and I thought I would come and share with you my morning skincare routine. Now, I'm actually trying to use a lot of products up. I've got a lot of, for example, sunscreens that I tested throughout the summer, and so would end up, you know, using one for a few days and then moving on to another one, and so I've got quite a few things to use up, and it's the same with kind of my main skincare routine. So I'm going to tell you in each step what are the options that I'm going to use and what things I'm using up. Don't know if that makes sense. Hopefully it will when I get started. The first thing I do in the morning is I go over my face with a reusable cotton pad and micellar water, just to take off any residue from sleeping and any residue from makeup remover the day before, just whatever. It just kind of really freshens up my face. And I use the Superdrug Be Pure one, or I use the Amazon Belly one, which I really enjoy. So that's me kind of got a blank canvas ready for the day. What I have introduced into my routine, which I don't think I've ever shown you was in my routine before, is caffeine. And I'm using this under my eyes. It's the Ordinary Caffeine. I'm sure you will have noticed my under eye area just looks terrible lately. I don't know whether it's just the fact that it's caught up with me suffering these migraines because it's, you know, pretty intense and pretty consistent, or whether it's just age, because they can kind of be simmering under there and then all of a sudden appear visible. And so I'm aware of that, and having turned 50 this year, it could be that. I don't know, because I'm staying hydrated, I sleep well. All of the things that you kind of need to do, I'm doing, but I'm trying this caffeine. So I'm going to use the whole bottle and see if it can do anything about these bags. I mean, my fine lines, they've always kind of been there. And I think because I can see dark circles and bags here, and so I'm probably putting a little bit too much concealer on. I know there's that whole, you're supposed to put it here and here. And, you know, I definitely need to put some work into how to cover my under eyes now in a different way, you know, maybe different products. But I'm going to try this caffeine serum. So I just sort of tap that under my eyes. Okay, after that I am using one of three things. Two you have already seen me talk about, I think. This is by ISNtree, is that how you say it? ISNtree. It's a Korean brand. They are cruelty free, and this is the TW Real Bifida Ampule. And so it is a hydrator basically, and I have found it to be really good the few times I used it. I haven't used it that much, but it's a really nice silky sort of serum, and yeah, I used it a few times and found it to be good, but I need to use that a lot more. Or I'm going to use this, I've used quite a bit of and I'm really enjoying. It's the Iunik Beta Glucan Power Moisture Serum. This I was using on my neck and found it really good for hydration. It's another drop like that. This one feels pretty similar to that other one, but this one is a little bit more sticky, I'd say. It's a little thicker, but not by much. And then the third thing, these are things that, like I said, I have them and I want to not buy anything that would replace these. Just use these 3 bottles up and see which one I prefer, you know. This is the Ordinary. This was called Buffet, but it's now called the Multi-Peptide plus Hyaluronic Acid Serum. So as you guys know, I don't like hyaluronic acid serums on their own. Apart from the Niod one, I do like that, the multi-molecular hyaluronic acid. It's the only one that I've ever got on with. But this Buffet has always been great for me, and this is now called, they've renamed it, but they've not changed the formula at all, the Multi-Peptide plus Hyaluronic Acid. Well, peptides will bring moisture to your skin. They will attract hydration to the skin, and I like using a peptide in my routine. So that's that one, and that is, kind of say that feels like a mixture of the two of these actually. It's a little bit thicker than this one, ever so slightly, but not quite as thick as the Iunik one. At the moment I'm using this one, so it's, you can see it's down to about there. So I'm going to finish that one and then move on to the other two. For that step, please don't hold me to it, but my plan for 2023 is to reduce the number of things I use to a more sort of stable level, if that makes sense, you know, so that I have some consistent favourites and not such a massive draw of everything. Okay, the next step in my routine will be some kind of antioxidant type product. So that will be either a vitamin C, and I don't have any, but I do love the Geek and Gorgeous ascorbic acid. I don't have any because, like I said, I'm trying to use products up and see exactly what I want to use, but I do really like the Geek and Gorgeous one. Or this is the one that I've just started using. This is the ordinary 8% ascorbic acid plus alpha arbutin. I think I was sent this because I don't think I would have chosen to use something with alpha arbutin in, because I don't think I think it might be for fading like dark spots, and I have so many freckles that just wouldn't be possible. But I thought the fact that it's got an 8% ascorbic acid in it, and it's not a nice sort of oily feeling one, I will use this and see what benefit, if any, I get from it. So I've been using that, and when that runs out, I will be using this, and I know that I love this. This is the ordinary resveratrol and ferulic acid, so it's 3% of both. And I want to really have a look into resveratrol again, because there's a lot of talk out there about resveratrol for menopause and menopausal skin, and there is some research behind that, so I want to have a little bit more of a look into that, and then I'll see which product I prefer out of all of them. I could use the vitamin C from Geek and Gorgeous with resveratrol and ferulic acid, but I don't want more than a 3-step routine in the morning. I just don't. But I could use those together. But with this one, this is got that kind of oily feeling, and so does this, so I'm not going to use those two together. My final step then is the SPF, and I am just using up the ones that you have seen me review for you. So there's some left in this one. This is an SPF 30. It's the Cooler Mineral Sunscreen. Really enjoy that. And I haven't found it to be too dry, and with it being winter, you know, it's still been okay. The Day Defense SPF 30 by BYBI, and then I've also got this one to use up, the Naked Sundays SPF 50. This is a tinted one, so I'm just going to use those all up, and then I don't know what I will buy. I'll see where I'm at the end of it, you know, and which one I've enjoyed the most. I have used up, you'll see when I next do an empties, I've used up the Face Theory Amyl Sea Whip, and I love that, and I can imagine that that would be one I would go back to using, but I don't know how long it will take me to use everything up. So that is my morning routine. So it's basically some kind of hydration, extra hydration. My skin needs extra hydration. My skin is not dry and flaky so much. Occasionally it is, but it's more dehydrated, and I just feel like hydration is something that is key if you are worried about your skin aging. You know, it's something that I feel like hydrated skin looks more plump, and you know, so hydration followed by an antioxidant followed by a sun protection. That's what I'm aiming for in my morning routine. And the caffeine, I don't know, we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to try and be good and use up this whole bottle, unless I find any adverse effects, but I haven't so far, because I did read that some people found this to be a bit drying. By the way, you'll see I've put my own stickers on these, because I can't tell what I'm putting on my face. The writing's too small, you know. That's everything for my morning skincare routine. I'll come back and do my evening skincare routine, of course. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.